So I don't know if we've talked about the due date of arrival in the Australian market for the Nano, for the Fury, for the dual GPU card, but all of these, the 4 cards in that Fiji family, should be in the market this year in Australia, certainly in the US, and in other areas they will be productized this year. Summer and autumn is what we said. That, I think, is where we end. There we go. Now, that was a 45-minute presentation that took, what, an hour and a half? Something like that? So thank you very much, especially for being kind enough to join Antal in recording. The most important thing for you to do, I think you have 2 or 3 most important things to do. Number 1, try the demos. Please try the demos. We have a number of VR demos which we can run on the system to the left at the back, and although you will have tried VR before, because you pretty much all put up your hands, please try them, please experience these. We've got a couple. We've got Eve Valkyrie, we have a Dinosaur Island demo from Crytek. We'll try not to switch between them, I think, too much. It's possible to get people who want to do the Eve Valkyrie demo first, we'll run that, and then we'll do the Crytek stuff, something like that. So try the demos, talk to the AMD folks. If any of you want to have a chat with me, I am totally available until we get into our next run about 6 o'clock. Absolutely catch Antal, because he's got all the real numbers instead of the numbers that I was saying somewhere along the way. And Gareth, of course, has the local market information for you. So I'm talking in broad, high-level sweeps about availability. Gareth can actually fill you in with exact dates for those, and then and QA, yeah, maybe we could do that. If you have any questions which you'd like to ask of us collectively now, please feel free to. Yes, sir.
We're targeting 4K. A lot of users now have 4K TVs. Fury X doesn't come with HDMI 2. Can you talk about the decision why you're foregoing that standard?
So it has HDMI 1.4a, which covers most of, but not all, of the monitors in the market right at the moment. I think it was a time-to-market decision for us. We'll certainly look at that in the future, and we'll move to higher standards. But right at the moment, that certainly gives you 60 Hertz 1080p. Understand? 60 Hertz 1080p. And if you're using a monitor, you'll probably go the DisplayPort route. I've been in America too much. The DisplayPort route. DisplayPort is the way that we would rather you drive these graphics cards and monitors, simply because you get access to FreeSync that way. You get a superior experience. You can do things like daisy chaining and going to the multi-monitor setups that we've got elsewhere. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yes. So you've been working with the industry to come up with some active dongles that convert DP 1.2 to HDMI 2.0, and those should hit the market this summer. So that gets rid of the HDMI 2.0 not natively supported issue.
Yeah. So the real advantage is just the extra refresh rate that you get. It's not that the card can't sustain that kind of refresh rate, it absolutely can. And active dongles, that'll be a nice way around it.
How many Fury X cards can you put in Crossfire together?
Excellent, yeah. How many Fury X cards can you put in? The answer is 4 in Windows, and in principle, in Linux, you could put you'll need quite a beefy PC to deliver that kind of setup.
But then where would the water coolers go if you've got 4 of those in the system? It's going to be pretty hard to put, or where would they go? Because how long is the cable between the card and the cooler?
Yeah.
So it's longer than the 295X.
Have you tested a system with 4 of those in there?
Certainly we have run at least one. I'm aware of that because I talked to Roger Kaduri about it, and he has run such a system. He's actually built a system which can sustain 8 for Linux work. I don't expect that will be a standard configuration. If you did want to do that, if you were building a PC which is probably heavily customized like that, then you might actually consider taking off our stock cooling and going a somewhat different route. But if you're taking 1, 2, or 3, that's a very doable solution. You could use those. I suspect if you're really trying to build a full GPU setup, then you're likely to customize further.
So we're already working with the again, industry players who are in the customized liquid cooling solutions, and there will be some solutions where you can take this off and put your own stuff on it.
So the hardware that we show in these early stages is always the reference designs. Now our board partners are free to innovate beyond that. So this reference design is not a limitation. We don't, for example, tell our board partners, you may not change things.
Fury X is going to stay liquid cooled as this drop.
Yeah.
So the board partners will be able to change the cooler or
Not on Fury X, no.
Fury X.
Yes.
So
we also announced the R9 Fury that is going to ship later. So that's going to have multiple PIV solutions.
Yeah, I guess the Fury X is the name that we attach to that setup. There isn't anything to stop our board partners. We wouldn't discourage our board partners from being very aggressive about performance and going further with a cooling solution.
Will it be the next generation of cards where we're going to see 8 gig? Is Fury, the current cards, going to be limited at 4 gig until next year when HBM2 comes in?
I think we're heavily in quiet periods, so we can't really comment on unannounced products in the future.
Okay. So you want me to stop there because I'd like to take a little further.
Yes.
All right. So Antal is my PR manager as well as my spanky swimsuit assistant, so I won't contradict him there.
Can you talk about the performance difference between Fury X and Fury? Is it lower screen processes, lower clock speed?
So more information on the Fury will be available a little bit closer to the launch, which is in July.
And yes, at that point, certainly before it comes to market, we'll be completely explicit about the differences. More questions, or are you folks itching to get to the demos? I hope you'll say you're itching to get to the demos.